The Forest of Echoes, a tale of courage, friendship, and discovery. The small town of Willowbrook was surrounded by rolling hills, open fields, and the edge of a dark, whispering forest. Everyone called it the Forest of Echoes, a place of mystery and legend. Some said you could hear voices calling your name if you ventured too close. Others claimed it was filled with magical creatures and treasures waiting to be discovered. Most people stayed away, but not Emma, Jack, and their golden retriever, Scout. Emma, with her bright eyes and wild curls, was the thinker of the group. She loved solving puzzles and reading books about far-off places. Jack, her older brother, was brave and adventurous, always ready to climb the tallest tree or explore the unknown. And Scout? Scout was the heart of their little team, always loyal, always curious, and always wagging his tail. One crisp autumn afternoon, Emma and Jack stood at the edge of the forest, Scout at their side. "What do you think is in there?" Emma asked, her voice hushed. "Only one way to find out," Jack said with a grin. He adjusted his backpack, filled with snacks, a flashlight, and a map he had drawn himself. "Come on, Scout. Let's find an adventure." Scout barked in agreement, and the trio stepped into the Forest of Echoes. The forest was alive with sounds. Leaves rustled, birds chirped, and somewhere in the distance, a brook babbled over rocks. But as they ventured deeper, the air grew still and cool, and the whispers began. Faint, soft voices seemed to call their names, carried on the wind. "Did you hear that?" Emma whispered, clutching Jack's arm. "It's just the wind," Jack said, though his voice was less certain. Scout sniffed the air, his ears perked. The trio soon came across a clearing with an ancient stone archway at its center. Vines twisted around the stones, and strange symbols were carved into the arch. Beneath it, a path disappeared into the trees. "Do you think it's safe?" Emma asked. Jack grinned. "Only one way to find out." Scout trotted ahead, his tail wagging, and the siblings followed. As they passed under the archway, the whispers grew louder, almost musical. The path twisted and turned until it opened into a grove filled with glowing flowers and a shimmering pool. "This is amazing," Emma said, her voice full of wonder. She knelt by the pool, but when she looked into the water, she gasped. Reflected in its surface was a key made of light, floating just beneath the water. "We have to get it," Jack said, reaching out. But as his fingers touched the water, the ground trembled, and a deep voice rumbled through the grove. "Only the worthy may take the key," it said. Scout barked, standing protectively in front of Emma and Jack. The ground shifted, and from the shadows emerged a creature with a sleek, fox-like body and eyes that glowed like amber. "I am the keeper," it said. "To earn the key, you must prove your courage, wisdom, and loyalty." The keeper led them to a circle of stones, each etched with symbols. "Your first challenge is a riddle," it said. The symbols on the stones glowed faintly, forming a pattern. Emma's eyes lit up. "A puzzle," she said, kneeling to examine the stones. The keeper spoke the riddle. "I have cities but no houses, forests but no trees, rivers but no water. What am I?" Emma thought hard, her fingers tracing the glowing symbols. Jack paced nervously, while Scout sat patiently, his tail thumping against the ground. Finally, Emma's face broke into a smile. "A map," she said. "The answer is a map." The keeper nodded, and one of the stones began to glow brighter, revealing a path. Their next challenge tested their courage. The path led them to a steep cliff overlooking a chasm. A rickety rope bridge swayed in the wind. On the other side, the glowing key hovered, waiting. Jack stepped forward. "I'll go first," he said, gripping the ropes tightly. The bridge creaked and groaned as he crossed, but Jack didn't hesitate. Once he reached the other side, he called back, "Your turn, Emma." Emma's hands trembled as she grabbed the ropes, but Scout nudged her leg, giving her the confidence to step forward. "Thanks, Scout," she whispered. Together, they crossed, reaching Jack safely. The final challenge came as they approached the key. The keeper appeared again. "Your final test is loyalty. Choose one to take the key, but know that the one who does may not return." Emma and Jack looked at each other, unsure. But before they could decide, Scout stepped forward, his eyes fixed on the key. "Scout, no!" Emma cried, reaching out to stop him. But Scout walked confidently to the key, his tail wagging. The keeper smiled. "Your loyalty to each other has proven you worthy. You may all take the key." The glowing key floated into Emma's hands, and the grove filled with light. The whispers in the forest grew softer, like a gentle melody. "What does it open?" Jack asked. "The answer lies ahead," the keeper said before disappearing into the trees. With the key in hand, the trio made their way back to the archway, where a new door had appeared, carved into a massive tree. The key fit perfectly, and when they opened it, they found themselves back at the edge of the forest. In their hands was a small, glowing crystal, a token of their adventure. As they walked back to the cottage, Emma said, "Do you think there are more secrets in the Forest of Echoes?" Jack grinned. "Only one way to find out." Scout barked, ready for whatever adventure came next. Vocabulary words: echo, a sound that repeats. Example: the forest was named for its strange echoes. Courage, being brave in the face of fear. Example: the kitten showed courage by crossing the rope bridge. Ancient, very old. Example: the archway was covered in ancient symbols. Keeper, someone who watches over something. Example: the keeper challenged them with puzzles. Loyalty, faithfulness to someone. Example: Scout's loyalty to Emma and Jack never wavered. Chasm, a deep gap or hole. Example: they had to cross a chasm using a rope bridge. Grove, a small group of trees. Example: the glowing pool was in a quiet grove. Riddle, a tricky question to solve. Example: the keeper gave them a riddle to test their wisdom. Whisper, a soft sound or voice. Example: the forest was filled with whispers. Adventure, an exciting journey. Example: their adventure in the Forest of Echoes was unforgettable.